Look on your father.
Hi everyone, it's me, Star Wars! Awaken your force. Join the dark side? Wait, I thought you were I thought you were supposed to be the good guy? Huh. A long time, a day ago in the closet. In class. Film Theory. Oh, that's a long episode. Episodes XXII, Darth Luke Awakens. It's an exciting time for film geeks. A new Star Wars is coming to theaters. Life once again. Life once again has meaning as The Force Awakens near its release. Oh my god, it's gonna be very long. Boy, I do sure love me a good Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars info. But oh hey, do you guys want some like wrist minis? How much smaller are they gonna make? Those things. Anyway, there's like 80 different sizes of damn peanut butter cups. Oh crap! Great, Star Tours. Is this new one gonna have Yoda? No, is Yoda dead? Right, he's dead! Oh gosh. But dude, didn't ever the cool Jedi death like the other people? He just kind of weeds out and kneel over in a dirty swamp. Yo Jedi! This 1 week death game you got going there. Step up your game, bruh! Whatever, the voice actor's still getting work on the Muppet show. So it's all good. Oh crap dude, for this episode we have to watch all the freaking prequels again in order to make this episode, dear Lord Jar Jar. The worst! Like jeez dude! Also, no, he's not a Sith Lord. Stop it, stop with your silly terrorizing. That's our job. And if anyone's a Sith Lord, it's Luke! No! Spoilers! But in the trailers, one character was missing, a hero of legend, Luke Skywalker. One man seeing this aspired to predict the plot of the movie before its release. Pat was that man, and this is the conclusion he came to. That's a very long intro to my video. No one's gonna watch this video, by the way. No one's gonna watch this video. Absolutely no one's gonna watch this video. Let's do it right.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory.
Looking for love in Alderaan places. Recently, my friends over at Screen Rant did a video on their top 10 movie theories that change everything. My theories didn't make the cut, apparently. Come on, guys! Neo not being the one? Ant-Man destroying the planet? What do you expect of me? Well, today, I have one that they can't ignore. Get ready. So, Star Wars. I can't think of a single other film franchise that has had the impact that Star Wars has had on popular culture. Then there were the prequels that took that legacy and flushed it down the toilet faster than you could say Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks!
Don't say Jar Jar Binks, it makes everyone squirm. But now there's another, a new hope, or I guess a new hope. Star Wars The Force Awakens. And with it, all the hype and speculation you could ask for. And as you loyal theorists know, where there's over-analysis to be had, follow it we will.
And a lot of failures. Just saying, just prediction. You're gonna make a lot of failed theories.
That wasn't even close to Yoda. That said, in all the excitement around each new trailer release, something the internet's noticed with The Force Awakens is actually what's not in them. Between all the nostalgic imagery, the stormtroopers and X-Wings, the lightsabers and Han Solo himself, something, or rather someone, important seems to have been completely omitted. Luke Skywalker, the original protagonist of the Star Wars franchise. Mark Hamill has definitely been cast in this movie. His return, along with Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford's, was a huge selling point for this film early on. And yet, when pressed on the subject, director J.J. Abrams himself has said that Luke's
Where's Senpai? You're the clue.
absence from the marketing material for the film has been, quote, no accident. And Mark Hamill himself has said he's keeping a secret that, if revealed, would cost him a ton of money. I don't know about you, but to me it seems like something is clearly afoot. Obviously, this has set the internet ablaze with wild theories about the fate of the final Jedi and the plot of the new film, but today we're uncovering the truth before it airs in theaters. In an effort to save you your hard-earned popcorn dollars, I'm gonna go out on a limb and predict what you'll see when the movie finally gets released.
It's very cool to see that all these predictions from the future to look at the past. Huh, interesting. And see a lot of fillers, but...
The big secret is this. Luke Skywalker, our lovable hero and up-and-coming Jedi, will, in Episode 7, be seen to have joined the dark side. Seem like a stretch? Huh.
It is a stretch! Come on, it is a stretch!
It's not. Let's look at the facts. First, let's start with the lore that exists in the expanded universe. For those of you who aren't, what are Star Wars fans called? Like, what's the Star Wars equivalent of a Trekkie? The Warsian? A Star Warian? A war fan! A Star Warfan. Yeah.
Jedis.
Got a vague catchiness to it, I suppose. Anyway, the expanded universe covers the officially licensed material of Star Wars outside of the films, the Clone Wars, and Rebels. In one story from the universe, the comic Dark Empire, Emperor Palpatine's soul is reborn into a clone. Yeah, seriously. Who is successfully able to bring Luke under his control through the seduction of the dark side. Now, admittedly, Lucasfilms has said that the expanded universe is no longer canon, but the
no longer canon. So it was once canon before.
The seed of an idea certainly existed. And honestly, we've only just begun. Because when you think about it, Luke was already headed down the road to the dark side in the original trilogy. I mean, what is the dark side? Well, it's the part of the Force that draws
donuts?
from shock of all shocks, darker emotions. You know, like fear, anger, hatred, aggression, all that good stuff.
And also a lot of negativity involved. So please be positive and wholesome. Thank you so much.
Basically, the emo Care Bears. It's often described as the quick and easy path, and Jedi usually had to train their entire lives to resist the seduction of the dark side, going as far as to live by a list of tenets that they called the Jedi Code. Basically, the code amounted to things like don't lie, don't murder, don't add bad CGI to your re-releases, etc. They even had a neat little mantra that summed up their order. Quote, "There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force." Man, the more you think about it, the more the Jedi sound like a cult. Even still, this code didn't stop several prominent Jedi from falling over to the dark side. The number that did so is countless in the expanded universe, but there are still numerous examples in still canonical material. Count Dooku left the Order to become the Sith Lord Darth Tyrannus. Obi-Wan's master Qui-Gon Jinn is also mentioned to have flirted with the dark side and often disagreed with the Jedi Council. Jedi Knights Barriss Offee and Pong Krell both fell to the dark side during the events of the Clone Wars cartoon. And of course, the most prominent fallen Jedi of all,
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker.
Darth Vader.
During the production of the prequel trilogy, George Lucas himself explained that the Star Wars saga is, quote, like poetry, it rhymes. Qui-Gon mirrors Obi-Wan, Amidala mirrors Leia, and the clearest example of all, Anakin mirrors Luke. In the prequels, Yoda
Father and son.
Look, I'm your father.
warned against training Anakin from the very beginning because he was too old and full of emotional attachments. But if Yoda feared that Anakin's training had started too late, at the ripe old age of 10, then Luke was even worse off. He was right around 18 when he began training with Obi-Wan. In fact, when Luke first approaches Yoda, he also says that Luke is too old. Of course, he reluctantly gives in, knowing that Luke is the best hope for the Jedi, but still, sounds awfully similar to what he said about the dark side's greatest warrior. Let's also remember Luke's failure at the Cave of Evil. One of Luke's biggest tests is to confront whatever he may find in the cave on Dagobah. Within it, Luke finds a shadow of Darth Vader that he seemingly defeats, only for Vader's mask to break, revealing Luke's face underneath. Now, not only did that foreshadow the twist that Vader was Luke's father,
If you think about it, Vader literally means father in a different language, not English language, but you get the point.
But it also hints that Luke's destiny may be to become a Vader-like figure. I mean, Yoda even says it himself. When Luke asks what's in the cave, Yoda replies,
Only what you take with you.
the only thing in there is Luke. That Shadow Vader is inside of him before Luke has any strong connection with Vader. Just wait till he finds out that it's his father. And if that wasn't enough, Luke's emotions get the better of him when he brashly leaves his training with Yoda to save his friends in Cloud City, a direct parallel to Anakin's own recklessness. And not only that, but Yoda straight up points out that he's making the exact same mistake Vader made. Quote,
Only a fully trained Jedi Knight, with the Force as his ally, will conquer Vader and his Emperor. If you end your training now, if you choose the quick and easy path, as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil.
end quote. An agent of evil. How often do we see Yoda wrong throughout this franchise? And yet, Luke left anyway, and everything does indeed go horribly wrong. He confronts Vader and gets his hand chopped off, Boba Fett steals away Han Solo, and everyone else only barely escapes in one piece. It's this moment, this defeat at the end of Episode 5, where Luke's change starts to happen. Look at how he's presented in Episode 6. He wears black and stands ominously in a position that's visually similar to that of the Emperor. And when dealing with Jabba, he sounds arrogant, he makes threats, he even flat-out lies.
Nevertheless, I'm taking Captain Solo and his friends. You can either profit by this, or be destroyed. It's your choice, but I warn you not to underestimate my power.
That's not the way of the Jedi. And if we look at the climax of Return of the Jedi, Luke's descent nears its completion, and his similarities to Vader are at its greatest. The Emperor goads Luke into striking at him, taunting him, and telling him to
Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
And Luke tries it. He actually tries. The only reason he doesn't murder the Emperor in cold blood is Vader intervening and blocking the attack. Then, when Vader threatens Leia later on, Luke gets enraged, tapping into his dark side emotions and using them to defeat Vader in combat. He only stops after he cuts off Vader's hand, revealing the electronic arm underneath and realizing that he is literally becoming his father. Palpatine then urges Luke to kill Vader and become his new pupil, as Anakin once did to Dooku. But Luke refuses, saying that
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Now, you might think that this one little phrase means that Luke is taking a stand and choosing the light, but actions speak louder than words.
No, that's the thing. Luke really shows that we are all just normal people. We are all living creatures. We've been through the ups, we've been through the downs. You've been through the good, you've been through the bad. You've been through the Jedi, you've been through the Darth. And he represents us in which is that we are neutral. Yeah. You are what you become. If everything around is dark, you are dark. If everything is light, you are light.
And none of his actions up to this point have been that of a true Jedi. And look specifically at his choice of words.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
His father, yeah, the one who helped destroy the entire Jedi Order. Not exactly the ideal role model in that situation. So, despite everything pointing towards Luke giving in and failing as a Jedi, everyone ends up okay in the final moments of Episode 6. Seems kinda like a cop-out, doesn't it? Well, it does until you consider one more thing. A more blatant Luke is falling to the dark side ending may have been what was originally intended for the film. Meet Gary Kurtz, the producer of the first two Star Wars films with George Lucas, who actually helped secure the funding for the first movie. This man is basically the co-creator of Star Wars in everything but title. However, as the series went on, Lucas and Kurtz had a falling out about where Star Wars should be headed, causing Kurtz to leave production of Return of the Jedi. This was a huge blow to the cast and crew, with Mark Hamill describing the situation in broken family terminology. He said it was like mom and dad getting a divorce. They were both equally loved and respected on set. So Gary Kurtz definitely knows what he's talking about when Star Wars is concerned. Now, believe it or not, Kurtz actually went decades without talking about his falling out with Lucas. But in 2010, he finally explained where they were originally going with Episode 6. Now, keep in mind that Kurtz probably still has a bit of a chip on his shoulder because of the falling out, but his word on the subject still has a lot of merit. He explained, quote, "We had an outline and George changed everything in it. Instead of bittersweet and poignant, he wanted a euphoric ending where everyone was happy. The original idea was that they would recover the kidnapped Han Solo in the early part of the story, and that he would die in the middle part of the film in a raid on an Imperial base. The interview clarified the ending, stating, quote, "The discussed ending of the film that Kurtz favored presented the rebel forces in tatters, Leia grappling with her new duties as queen, and Luke walking off alone like Clint Eastwood in the spaghetti westerns," as Kurtz put it. This ending clearly isn't the one that happened. As Kurtz explains, it was because the toy business began to drive the Lucasfilm empire, and Lucas wanted a happier ending. That ending sounds very different from what we got, but
More family friendly, more appealing to the general audience. Even kids will love it.
a bittersweet ending with Luke walking alone into the sunset still doesn't mean he was going to turn himself to the dark side, right? Well, you should consider one more thing. Mark Hamill himself liked the idea. In an episode of the show Dinner for Five, Kevin Smith asked Hamill if he thought Luke Skywalker should have fallen to the dark side.
I should have been the
I
dude.
pitched that to George. No, as an actor, that would be more fun to play. I just thought that's the way it was going. From when we finished 2, I figured that's what will be the pivotal moment.
And you know what the best part of all this is? J.J. Abrams, director of Episode 7, was at the table during that episode of Dinner for Five. Mark Hamill was basically pitching that to J.J. And honestly, I think he'd do it. Remember, Episode 7 takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi, so there's really plenty of time for the darkness to set in on Luke's psyche. But here's the biggest thing. Lore and characterization aside, look at the man behind the movie. Abrams has a philosophy about movie making, that his films should be made like a mystery box. He did a really interesting TED Talk about it, which if you haven't seen, you should totally watch.
Goes on and on and on. I mean, look at like Star Wars. You got the droids, they meet the mysterious woman. Who's that? We don't know. Mystery box, you know. Then you meet Luke Skywalker, he gets the droid, you see the holographic image, you learn, oh, it's a message, you know, she wants to, you know, find Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's her only hope. But who the hell's Obi-Wan Kenobi? Mystery box. So then you go and he meets Ben Kenobi. Ben Kenobi's uncle is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Holy shit, you know. So it keeps it. Have you guys not seen that?
Basically, the gist of it is that he thinks films should be a surprise. You shouldn't know spoilers going in, and twists should be hidden until the release. An excellent example of this was his work with Star Trek Into Darkness. Everyone involved with production insisted that Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't playing Khan, going so far as to create fake leaks, have actors like Karl Urban accidentally reveal that Cumberbatch was playing a different villain, and film fake scenes with a different name for pre-release materials. If there is anyone who would appreciate this sort of twist, the idea that the hero we followed for 3 films has suddenly turned to the dark side, it's JJ I helped create Lost Abrams. But he's learned his lesson from Into Darkness, and has sealed this twist so completely in his mystery box that he isn't even giving us a glimpse of Luke before the film hits the silver screen. He doesn't even want to run the risk of any clues getting out, so that way Luke's tragic fall shocks the world on December 18th.
It's not that okay, so tragic fall, yes, but not towards the dark side. It's more towards neutral. So instead of from good to become evil, it's more towards good to become neutral. In the sense that stay on an island and do nothing while the world burns. That kind of things. Instead of being a hero.
As Yoda himself says,
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Luke started down that path in the movies, and Abrams is the type of director who would take that idea and run with it. Is Luke a fallen Jedi in The Force Awakens? Yes. I think so. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. At least until December 18th. By the way, while you're here, consider subscribing because we have more Star Wars theories up our sleeve in anticipation of the new movie. All aboard the hype train. Woo woo. And seriously, I joked about it before, but do take a minute to check out my friends over at Screen Rant and their video on the top 10 film theories that change everything. There's some fun ones in there, and none are ones that we've actually covered. So click right here and go check it out, then let me know which one you want to see me cover in a future episode. I'll be watching, taking note, and then adding it to my list of ones to cover in 2016. And finally, if you don't care about any of that other stuff, one last vote. Light side or dark side? Easy as that. Jedi Master or Sith Lord?
No, it's in between.
Click on one to choose. We'll see which side ultimately wins.
True, understandable. So anyways, thank you so much. Do remember to subscribe to the Film Theorists. They are awesome individuals with great content. Thank you so much. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel and I hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Thank you. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye, bye bye. Subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much more for your follow.